Go.
Sweat Equity Podcast, number one.
I said go. Oh my god.
I'm going.
Ugh.
Number one.
Dude, your fart before this was so bad.
It's still here.
Like the gnarly, like.
Nar? Number one arbitrated comedy business podcast
Sorry.
out in the land. There's 900 million podcasts out there, and you choose to listen to this one. So we thank you for that. If you want to do us a favor and you don't want to hit up the ads I'm about to read out, you can go on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify. Give us a ranking or review. 5 stars is always the best. Leave a little phrase. We'll try to read it out on the podcast. We've got 65 reviews on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. We can do better than that. We've been around for about 5 years.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to do that and you want to support this show, how about checking out our headline sponsor?
Give me money.
Which is FreshBooks. If I can bring up gofreshbooks.com/sweat. Gets you a 30-day free trial on your annual plan. That's gofreshbooks.com/sweat. Or is it try FreshBooks?
Jesus, is this your first day here?
I can't find my...
I actually stopped myself from busting your balls earlier, and now
Let's go,
you
FreshBooks.
serve it right up. Oh
I
my
couldn't
god,
I
man.
couldn't pull up my rundown. I got it. Let it. Keep it in. People like hearing the errors. It's
it's staying in.
It's gofreshbooks.com/sweat. Get a 30-day free trial. Get direct deposits the next day, unlike the competitors like Xero or QuickBooks. gofreshbooks.com/sweat. I'm not only a promoter, I'm also a user. That's gofreshbooks.com/sweat. And that hooks us up as well on this show. Our featured sponsors, ExpressVPN. Try expressvpn.com/sweat. Get you 3 months off of an annual plan. Don't let people know what you're searching on the internet.
Yeah, it's not their business.
It's
I have a
it's
drop
the business
kind of
podcast.
that says that.
Nice. We're both.
It's not your job to
That's
make excuses.
Wow. We're both
It was
firing.
Lou Brown.
We're both firing hot.
Fine, man.
Roan, the fanciest of fancy financial district Under Armour wear.
Yeah.
Try roan.com/sweat. Gets you 20% off using that link, or use the promo code BRIDGE20 to look fancy, to be a step above everybody else at the gym.
Is that what the copy says? They don't tell you to say
none
look
of that.
fancy.
No, we've never.
They're way cooler than that.
We've never used the copy they've given us
Oh,
for
good.
any ad. That's why we crush it. That's why we're number one.
That's why you needed your rundown
Yeah.
to not read it.
Yeah, Grasshopper. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. Gets you $75 off an annual plan for a business phone line. Don't have a Google voice line for your side hustle or your business. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. Gets you $75. And honestly, that's the best sponsor we have for this show, because it hooks us up a lot better, hooks you up a lot better. And then lastly, Warby Parker, warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. Gets you 5 free pairs to try on at home at no cost. You can send your prescription in. You can get your sunglasses, eyeglasses, all that done. And look, you're paying a lot more. You go to Lens Crafters. You go to all those fancy places that you think you're saving a lot of money. You're not. Let's get this show started. Hotty toddy!
What about my sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?
How do you wear nice stuff and feel comfortable?
You know, it's a question of looks versus sensation, and I think sensation is more important.
God, it's like you came prepped for one-liners. Are we recording?
That was the best bullshit answer I've ever said. Eric's face is great.
I'm trying to understand. Sensation of feeling good or like touching your skin.
If you say
Feeling.
confidently, it doesn't matter. That's what
It's
he's-
true. See?
Right, and I almost didn't say something. I was like, no, I don't want to sound stupid.
You see what a little jacket and hair gel can do?
I know, I'm totally out of it. I'm like, what do I say to that? He's so smart with that jacket.
Well, and you've got a setting too. It's not just that. You have an ambiance. It's
And
like
the digital fireplace.
you've been places. Like it
I've got
okay.
some surprises for you boys, too.
There's a
So,
stack of books
That is
you've
the
read before.
Tallest stack of books I've ever seen.
it's books, they still make them, I understand. I'm not sure.
I've been getting back into them recently.
Are we?
We've been recording, but we
good.
don't have to start.
No,
whatever,
I
going
keep
cold.
it in. Keep all that stuff in.
We didn't say anything.
No, not
inappropriate.
yet.
I've watched a lot of your guys' shows, and I never know what to wear because, sometimes you're shirtless, right?
Well, we're trying to.
Yeah,
We're trying to get the double income, no kids crowd.
right.
Sometimes the podcast turns into a podcast. I get it. Looking good.
Sometimes we're trying to
Single
get.
dads now.
Yeah, sometimes we're trying to get the white trash moms.
You never know what'll come.
Maybe we can pull some.
Chum the waters.
Pull them away from those like murder podcasts and get some of that action.
You had me at sweat equity.
There you go. It's the titular line to what we're doing. But I'm glad to get you on. We've been trying to get you on, figure this out for like a year, man. And your schedule's busier than ours combined, I think.
And then there was that little COVID thing, and everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
Well, which is why you're not in studio for one reason, or we're kind of in a bit of a makeshift studio right now because it's like, what's the point of having a studio if we can't really get people?
Yeah, that's why.
That's one
That's
reason.
why.
Wait a yes
Darn
and
coronavirus.
That. Wait a yes and that. I'm saying, but even if I thought about it, even if we do want our own studio outside of Eric's party house, but outside of that, I don't think we could get people to come in anyway. So it's like, what would be the point right now until COVID?
Well, I have to tell you, it's a little bit, I feel a little bit naked and exposed because you guys have these big, beautiful microphones hiding half your face. And it's hard for me to judge your reaction to anything I say.
Oh, that's poor on our part. I pulled mine down.
Almost as difficult to judge reactions as wearing this.
It's a good point. David has put on a mask.
Yeah, for the audio.
For
out
the
there.
audio listeners out there.
Let me ask you this, since this is a marketing podcast. What do you think of putting your brand on a mask? I'll let you guys answer first because I have some ideas on that.
Well, I saw a comedian, Annie Letterman. She made merch out of it. One of my favorite things were, I don't want you to get offended, but she did this, and Eric can describe it, but that symbol, which
You got to make me describe the
Yeah.
pussy licking finger
I
thing.
had to
Okay,
do it.
great. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Now I had to say it.
Right. Yeah, I know. Icky. But I'm saying
I didn't want to.
she took it negative and made it a positive. With every bad, there's a good, right?
I figure if everybody's going to have to wear one, why not? It's one of those things. I don't see myself buying a branded mask. I have literally cut sleeves off of shirts and put them on my face.
Which isn't effective, but yep.
Yeah,
It's not-
I know.
it's not
I'm not
quite
saying it's N95 quality. I'm just saying, like, I don't care to buy a branded mask, but at the same time,
What about the matchy? I saw someone yesterday her mask matched his shirt. It was the same fabric.
That's
And
too
it was-
far.
oh, that's
That's the
like
couple
crossing over. Okay, yeah,
that's the couple that sits on the same side of the table as each other, at the
Well,
diner.
That's just
You
that's
sit across from
crossing-
each other.
That's just too far. The matching clothes it has nothing to do
If
with
Eric
a mask.
and I were dating, that's the exact same thing if I put my hand in the back of one of his butt pockets. You ever see that move while you're walking?
I'd do it too, though.
That's
It'd be a
that's
toe
it
butt
makes it tough to
pocket.
walk. It looks like a 3-legged race.
Yeah, it looks
You guys want to get romantic? I'll just play a little music underneath you.
we didn't know
very
there's
nice.
we didn't know there's a piano or keyboard right there.
I don't know. Can you actually play, or is
It's not coming through on our end.
Not?
It sounded like almost like a Tom Green intro. Like
Well, it was romantic date music.
I think you gotta plug that sucker into your computer. Man.
it's definitely not the best audio quality?
It's you gotta hardline that mother in there.
You guys, like, all of a sudden you have mic in because you've got these big, bad boys.
Big phalluses. Look, we're a dick joke podcast number 1, business number 2. So
We don't hide it at all.
We
should.
What's on your mind, fellas? Why are we talking? Talk
Well,
to me.
I want to more thoughts on the mask. I honestly think at this point Americans like being branded. They like having a brand on their clothing that represents who they are, even if it's a little one. Actually, the smaller, if it's a pattern, that's more the female side of it, like a Louis Vuitton. But I do think wearing a Nike check, wearing a Under Armour or Adidas, when you're a young guy, that's kind of a personality, sadly.
Exactly. It's like almost a lazy way to demonstrate who you are as a person to somebody.
Well, Eric,
In
let me
my
ask,
opinion.
what's on your shirt, Eric? I can't see it. I see there's something there.
Okay. So my shirt says Knuckle Uncle, and it's a shirt that I made that I thought would be a funny band name. And then I came up with the little logo because I thought that'd be funny too. And it's a hand doing the shocker. So that does indeed demonstrate who I am as a person. And I made the shirt. So actually, I'm in pretty good shape on this one. But normally, I'm dressed like Law with nothing. It's like plain shirt, plain whatever. Like
Yeah.
I rarely have anything on my.
And I used to make a lot of my own T-shirts like that too. Not as graphic because I like to wear them out, but
What?
I think there's something to be said about putting that originality somewhere, putting that joke somewhere, or just putting some kind of creative effort into T-shirts. Are easy to make now, but
Well, I got one shirt with writing on it, and it's an NPR. It says NPR on it, right? Because I gave them $1 and they gave me a shirt. And I've been wearing it. And one day my dad asked me, "What is the shirt? What's the shirt about?" I'm like, "Well," he goes, this is true. He goes, "Newport Richie.
Yeah.
What are you advertising that for?"
that's good. I like it.
That is a very Tampa-centric joke.
Yeah.
Because I think Newport Richie all the time when I see it, especially here. People
I
listen
think
to
Terry
NPR down
Gross, my girl, who, by the way, did you know Terry Gross does all her interviews like this? She doesn't do any of them in person. So for 30 years, they've been doing so much good audio cutting. Like apparently when you're the guest on Terry Gross's show on NPR, Fresh Air, you go into a booth and she talks to you just like this for like as long as video conference has been going on.
Oh, from her house?
And they just cut down the ums and ahs and all that. Isn't that
That
great?
explains so much of what I don't like about those interviews.
Well, look,
They seem so fake.
there's
you
a
know?
cadence, but she kind of created that cadence that she kind of made everybody kind of followed her, I thought.
It's very horsey. It's very cloppity. It lacks.
musical.
Don't get me wrong. I love me some Terry Gross. I think she's brilliant, but I think those interviews are so awkward, and that explains why to me, because they aren't looking each other in the eye or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it might have been just audio for a while until she just added like a video element recently. But I know I've heard comedians on other podcasts talk about going in to do her show, and she lives in like Philadelphia or something. You think you go to like the New York studios and she's in Philadelphia. I don't know. I think that's going to change a lot of stuff, all the COVID stuff, how we're doing this. Like, for whatever reason, it's better if you were here in person, obviously, but at the same time, it doesn't, the cost benefit, even just driving across the bay over here in the Tampa Bay metropolis is still a pain in the ass. And it's like, but there is something to be said that there, an ISDN line or something that you can have these teleconferences where you're not missing a step, you know?
Yeah,
It's
nobody.
a half second.
Most people are not technologically where we are on our side, and that makes it tough. You know, we forget to tell the guests before. Maybe have headphones. If you have a better microphone, use it. That sort of thing. But it's also kind of being forgiven, too. Like I think a lot of people are just kind of used to. Well, that's what it sounds like, and
I mean, two things. One is, okay, I just want to tie this up in a neat knot and leave it in the past. I can like Terry Gross without being a fan of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's gonna cancel you.
Secondly, I don't want to get Adam Driver out of the conversation here.
Oh, nice.
It's Adam driven.
The second part is I think if anything is more demonstrative of people's willingness to forgive technical inexpertise was the first 2 months, almost felt like 2 years of the late night talk shows. I was so disappointed in there. To this day, I think Trevor Noah's going to hit his head on the corner of that shelf behind him. It makes me a little bit crazy because I'm a little OCD about those things. And just the joke that there's no audience, it ended very quickly and no one told them.
Right.
And they kept playing the joke that there was no one there to laugh. And then it becomes not funny or macabre, but just kind of sad.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I could speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure Eric and I have not watched either of any late night show.
I've watched Conan O'Brien do a bunch of, because he's able to now do 20-minute long form interviews that they put on YouTube that you're not used to being able to see, him and Gaffigan go back and forth for 20 minutes. But there's definitely a tone of like, they're not used to that.
Right.
I know Conan has a podcast. I've never listened to it, but like,
Pretty good.
the way they're doing it is just, it seems like everybody was set to zero with it, but he has his name, but everything else seems like they've never done it before.
Really tough to go from 5-minute interviews to, long form, 20-minute.
But I think it also exposed kind of a fault line, and that's common among a lot of those late night hosts, is that they're comics. They need the crack that is audience approval.
Yeah.
They need that laughter. Without it, they were only halfway there, and some of them got a little bitchy about it, quite frankly,
Sure.
and unpleasant to watch because it just became not fun to watch them. They were bitter.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, you get so used to a reaction for so long. I get it on a micro scale, like, not doing stand-up for a while. I've been saying it on this show, not being able to get up as much as you want. I find myself trying to be funny and trying to force it in human interactions I'm having on the phone or like, the rare meetup with anybody in person. And it's like, oh, this is me being needy. This is me forcing that into conversation, right?
But does Eric still think you're funny?
Eric's never thought
I've
I'm funny.
never was.
So
Still waiting for that.
we're still keeping that.
should have dropped.
He's like Cal Ripken with me not being funny. He's keeping that streak alive.
What about children? Do they think you're funny?
When they stomp on my nuts when I'm asleep, yeah. They're 4.
That's when I think you're funny.
Yeah, they're
That reaction's great.
they're 4 and 3. I mean,
We're like, oh, I'm really hurt for real.
when Dad's hurt, that's the best. Which really reminds you that physical humor still
It's a trope.
it can still be very funny. I catch myself getting mad about it and laugh. Then I laugh, but I'd like to keep my jubblies in order.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Testicle, what is it? Contortion? Or wait, that's a
It's
bruising.
a testicular torsion.
Torsion, yeah. When they twist, I'm not down with that.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Happened to a buddy of mine. He was driving on I-75 and had to pull over and barf. It hurt him so bad.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It happened while he was sitting there driving.
Yeah, he had done it and like got in the car and like
What do you mean?
sat wrong.
Did he
doesn't
jump in
even
the car like Bo Duke or something?
No, it wasn't from that. It had already happened. He sat weird and it got worse and it hurt him.
Bo Duke reference.
Dude, you are dating yourself.
Hey man, that's a pretty
Might
good
as
pull
well
for
be.
me. Yeah, I should date myself. I do date myself.
So talk to me more about what's good right now from a marketing or advertising perspective. What do you think is going well? What do you think has come out of the woodwork as something good in this period we're in? Is there anything good?
I think we're going to have some time to get away from it to really understand it. I think just like Louis C.K. kind of talked about the 2009 recession, and I know he's a bad word in a lot of people's heads, but he is very good at kind of giving a broad analysis in a smart, dumb guy kind of way. And what he said was like, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it is a good thing. The more I look at it, maybe it's a good thing to really see what we all need. And that's what he was saying in the 2009 recession or 08, whatever you want to call it. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we're all realizing, we take things for granted that we shouldn't.
I don't know.
In a bigger philosophical way. But we got to have some time away from it to really make that analysis.
For marketing?
Oh, I mean, I'm not just sticking to marketing. I want to go broad, and then I can focus on marketing. I'm just saying, marketing-wise,
The marketing is painful, in my opinion. It's just
well, budgets get cut. You know this better than both of us combined. I mean, not to give your age or anything, but you're seasoned, more seasoned vet than us in the branding marketing world, and
It's the jacket. I'm actually your age. I just look like
yeah, exactly. That's what it does. I need to go get my
stack of
Steinmart
books.
on. But I'm saying, you've been in bigger boardrooms than I have, or bigger discussions with bigger businesses than I have, or Eric has. As far as a lot of people just don't even know how to budget marketing. So right there, that's where my head goes, because a lot of talks I'm getting are, I'm talking to a lot of manufacturers right now. I'm talking to a lot of B2B and supply chain stuff. And it's, before COVID, they didn't really have a budget set out or a plan. And now anybody I'm talking to really doesn't. And it's really, I always say it's not a line item that can be cut. It's a percentage. It's always a hard percentage, whatever that is. And that percentage should go towards whatever you give it towards against your gross revenue.
Sure, I know, but I think but what I was trying to get from you, and I know you go around the back to come back all the way through the front door on this. But
that's what I'm known for.
Is from a messaging
they call me the reach around strategist.
From a practical point of view, because I'm looking on a daily basis.
Fine, I laughed.
That was pretty good. I got Eric to laugh. He tried to hold it in like a poker hand that he had
Anyway.
aces.
My jacket, because this is a conversation that does not have. Look at that! I just dropped 10 years. Shut up.
Our age.
So here's my question, my larger question. The point is, tell me. I'm going to hold you both to the wall on this because I've got an answer too. But I want to know, what do you think is going right in marketing or advertising? Something very concrete. What you say. Hey, this is good. This is interesting. Here's an opportunity. Tell me on the upside. Something.
Well, from what I've seen, the stuff that frustrates me is the stuff that they overreact. They do and say things. They tell you in terms of like wearing a mask, do this and that, and you have a lot of disinformation. So anytime I see something that takes a step back and says, "Hey, maybe just try being nice to somebody,"
We're all in this together.
Yeah, let's try and come together with this stuff. Let's stop, deciding that it's going to be a battle between people rather than against the virus, because that's inevitably what everything is becoming right now. And it's really just anything that doesn't divide people up is better than what I've seen.
Well, now we're in a confluence with a Black Lives Matter movement too, and that.
I'm not even saying.
But that has you can't keep them apart almost, because they're both. One really has.
We should try to.
We should compartmentalize.
I'm saying you and I, in this conversation, we should.
We've always known Black Lives Matter. That it's the weird thing of like, you're hitting a broad audience with a message, and it's like it's usually the fringes that aren't into it, But as far as what I think, I'll try to piggyback on what Eric was saying. Being disingenuous with a message and trying to come out with something that says like, "Hey, we're all in this together," by Sprint, or like Pepsi really believes in the message of "Let's all get through this." It feels disingenuous and has a negative effect.
Well, come on, man! I feel like I'm trying to nail Jello to a fence here. Coca-Cola really didn't want to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying it's not changed. I'm saying from a nuts.
It's callous, though, is what I'm saying.
It's most marketing is callous, right?
Right, but even more, this is like even more affront. This is like, hey, we're really going to be opportunists here, and we're going to be on the right. I hear a lot of right side of history kind of talk, whether personal or business wise, and it's like, yeah, but some of y'all still don't know what side that is.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. It's like, why are we? What sides are we taking here? Is what I'm like. What's that? Always taking sides.
We're recording this under the gun of. I didn't even know this till we just started the pod, which was the RNCs tonight. I guess the DNCs tonight. And thankfully, I live out of watching any mainstream news. And
DNC was last week. The RNCs tonight.
Yeah, they don't matter in my life at all. That's the thing, like.
Clearly, they don't matter because you don't know they're both not happening.
Right. Yeah, I was hoping you would correct me if I was wrong.
Wow, this is you guys. This is an interesting little bunch here. Let me push something.
We've been lied to.
I was pretty sure the DNC already happened, but I didn't care enough to argue.
But all right, we're both in mid-30s. You get lied to so much, and you're just like, well, what's the point? Why pay attention? And I think a lot more people are going to bow out until they get older, like a lot of the older generation that is way more buying into it, which is scary.
What you're talking about? What is the it there?
Into like mass media, a lot of major journalism, quote unquote, that, they make their own shit stirring pot.
Amen.
They're their own human caterpillar.
But going back for a minute to the question I was
Thank
trying to start a little something on, and I tried unsuccessfully maybe twice.
We interview you, bro. You don't interview us. You can't hijack it.
No, it's a back and forth, love.
I know.
But the thing you and I talked about in advance was, I do a lot of hospitality, those tourism marketing, a lot of destination marketing. And in a situation where the only thing you need right now is for people to move. You need them to come visit you. You can't export your product if your product is, let's say, the beaches, or your product is Disney or New York City, or insert name of thing, right? So the larger space that I'm working in on a more kind of a 30,000 foot level is, what is that industry doing? And what are other industries doing in response to this stasis, this holding pattern we find ourselves in? And one of the things that drives me a little bit crazy is every destination in the world right now wants to show you what 6 feet is, right? And they have all these cute little ways to show you what 6 feet is. There's a this, there's a that. It's a, and it's just like, it's not that people don't know what 6 feet is. It's they don't care right now.
Yeah.
There's a whole second level conversation happening around that. And A and B, most destination marketers or marketing was never meant to describe 6 feet to visitors, right?
Yeah.
So at best, it's ham-fisted. At worst, it sounds like a CDC warning or whistling near the cemetery, or all this bizarre stuff going on. And where they're missing the boat is just go back to remind people about the things that made your brand, that made you love them to begin with. Don't do all of this crazy Ivan. You get the reference. Was it Hunter Red October when the guy does a crazy Ivan? He goes, anyway.
Eye for an eye. That's all I got.
Yeah, but the point being, I noticed that in a lot of almost all destination marketing, they get off message, and they go to a message because they think they're experts in communicating information about CDC, and I think it's a mistake.
By right? Because it's left so broad because the CDC they can't be super specific for whatever reason. They have to make their position very broad. I don't get that, but then it's left to interpretation. Then as you get hired as a hired gun, you're going to figure out how to make that work for the brand that you're getting hired for sometimes. And it's like,
the brand would be don't talk about 6 feet. Talk about COVID. Don't give your brand coronavirus.
Yeah, but you and I are kind of called reckless a little bit sometimes in meetings, I'm sure, because we would take an anti-stance.
Yeah, I agree with it though. Did you either of you?
But it's going to circle back.
Have a company that you ever came in contact to that did not email you their plans and for the coronavirus? Why was Hertz Rent-A-Car that I rented 10 years? Like, I don't care. Like, I don't need to know what Michael's art store is going to do about.
Let's be cool to Michael's. I'm not
I
a fan
love
of I'm not a Joanne guy anymore.
But the idea is the same thing. It's like, why? Why are you doing? Like, why does this need a response? Why is it? Because that takes money to send out those emails.
Here's the answer: because they don't know what message to put forth, and they feel like they have to do something.
Right.
That's crisis communication meets, hey, this is actually another opportunity to be top of mind and look good. I've thought about that a lot. Why is everybody sending me their terms and conditions, their privacy policy updated, all in this last 5-6 month period? It's because we feel like we have to, and legally everybody doesn't want to be, an endless wallet.
Or maybe
or curse.
Some unnamed are being a little bit disingenuous, and they're trying to act like they believe in you and care for you in ways where they don't. Exactly. And they're acting as this guardian that they've never acted as you before, right? Other than trying to sell you more insurance than you need for something of other rental cars. But I find it very sad that very big marketing agencies, all the way down to the in-house folks, can't understand what the drivers are. And the drivers haven't changed. Not the drivers of the car, the drivers of what their brand is.
Right.
Back to those levers. Pull the levers Don't be pulling these messages.
Fear. Like fear.
Your fear.
Like use fear. Fear is their number one, right?
Well, you
Fear of
said,
missing out. That's what you can do for
yeah,
destination.
well, yeah.
Right? You're so maxed
Maybe just
out.
keep fear out of
One
it.
thing I never understood was the closing of beaches when no one wanted to be closer than 6 foot than the next person on the beach ever.
That one did. I didn't get that one.
I would have used that. So that's where I would have used that as that anti message. If I was in the destination marketing and say I had something that had any relation to a beach or a pool, I would be using that as the message. Something that I don't know
Yeah. You
where
wanted to
this
be
went
6
away.
feet apart anyway. So
Here's one I'm surprised no one's used. Seashell distancing. Ha, 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 right? And I'm surprised no one's used that because it's just so flat on its face. Talk about fear of missing out. A friend of mine is in the Cascades right now. He texted me this photo of him above the frost line, 7,000 feet on a beautiful lake. That would be the thing I would be fear of missing out right now, is that experience. That is the only thing I fear missing out. That's the only thing I fear is not having that experience. Get back to the experience that makes people love you to begin with. Stop giving your own brand coronavirus.
oh yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You're infecting your own brand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just doesn't have, it's very nice that it's a virus and it infects itself, but it could be anything
But
negative.
But so we went macro to micro to come back and to give it kind of a button on this. It's all about being disingenuous, right? That's why I go broad, then I go small. I go big to small, man. Just want to show you where I was leading you in this discussion.
Yeah, you really orchestrated that conversation.
we talked
I'm
about
sure.
this before. We did a pre-pro interview.
Yeah. Giant whiteboard behind it. You can't see it, but it's all.
This is why I have the
He
avocado
knew
in the
exactly what you'd say.
What else is making you angry about this era, the core era?
Do I come across as angry?
Bottled up anger, but in a good way.
No, it's passion. It's passion. It's
Okay.
hard to-
I've referred to it as that too.
I didn't sense anger.
passion.
I can hear it in
Now
your
I
key
hear the anger.
drops. I can hear it.
That was Charlie's Angels theme when they go to commercial right there.
Yeah.
gosh.
Now,
So here's one right there. I got this today. You know,
my favorite Crate and Barrel.
Crate and
the,
Barrel
the catalog, right?
Okay.
And at what point are they going to realize? And I'm not just saying Crate and Barrel. Pick up any of these, which come by the dozens. Once you sign up for one thing, you get on every damn list known to man, right? This entire thing has one brand in it, Crate and Barrel.
Yeah.
Opportunity on a spread like this to show love for other brands with other brands. Hey, how about a little food? What food is this? Oh, this is the such and such a dish. What utensil is that? Oh, that's from, you could do so much more with this than just only do Crate and Barrel. And I would look at it differently than, and it's not just Crate and Barrel. This entire thing hasn't changed in 40 years. The catalog, the
Right.
home catalog.
Yeah.
And I think there's an opportunity right now for it to, serve more than one master.
That's actually.
I love that idea.
That's a really astute kind of angle because print is not. It's not going to increase, and so you got to figure out how to cut costs and make cross promotion, maybe with like Fresh Market, something that's attainable for that audience. Same audience like Crate and Barrel is yuppie white people that probably go Fresh Market or probably go
Load
to,
them groceries into a Tesla.
You could draw a line through this demographic, this psychographic, into easily 12 other brands that would make sense, right, to be in this. And the person reading this would be perfectly in sync with that offering.
Yeah.
And it's not just me. But I'll tell you what also, I look through it beginning to end every time just to look at it.
And they do need something new. It needs something that it's like to get excited about. I don't get excited about anything coming in the mail.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's just like
most mail's garbage.
I'll
right?
look at it if it's in my face, and from the walk from the mailbox to the garbage can.
And
I'll check it out.
You
But-
can't not sign up for junk mail. So it does separate itself if you're getting that. But I've tried to undo myself
Unsubscribe?
from like, what is it? Retail Me Not bought them out, I believe.
Like Valpak.
Yeah, stuff like that. You can't get off junk mail because you don't know you're signing up for it for, a Yahoo account. And it's like, oh, by the way, or how about changing your address? USPS really hoard themselves out there, and they're like,
Yes.
"Hey, guess what? You can get on 40 different
Well,
things."
I did the everyday or every
Sure.
door direct mail. I didn't need anybody's permission to stuff a bunch of mailers in there and send it to every house on the block. Like, you just pay for it.
That's actually a good pragmatic marketing tip for anybody that has a local business. Eric did that with the dentistry that he owned, was part of. Let's say, we'll take that
Stay
out
away
for
from
legal.
that. We'll
But
timestamp it.
Well, it's just like NPR and Catholicism. It's very hard to quit because they keep sending you stuff. Both of them do.
yeah, and I'm like, damn, Winn-Dixie got some good sales going on. I might have to check out Dr. Check. That's just as good as Dr. Pepper.
same.
I just said NPR and Catholicism. You go, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and I didn't say I didn't know how to get anywhere from there. Well,
That
yeah,
looks-
Ignatius Riley and Terry Gross. They're the
I
same
did-
person.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't. Dr. Check pedophilia joke I thought was coming for sure.
No, Dr. Check isn't.
And
They hit him in New Orleans like they do with all of the Catholic priests.
Phew!
What?
My dad won't be mad at me now.
Anybody that needs that reference, go back to episodes like eight episodes ago. Sam Tripoli talking conspiracy theorists. He undiscovered the Jesuits and how they're ruining the world, basically.
I totally remember that whole interview,
So crazy.
word for word.
I love that guy, but
Yeah.
so crazy. Well, we only have a couple minutes left. We always want to ask this question to every guest we have. And
Yeah.
we'll have you back on, obviously. There's much more to talk about, but we try to keep it to about 33 minutes. If you could go back in a time machine to your 13-year-old self, what would you ask yourself? What advice would you tell yourself? What would you ask yourself?
That's also a good question.
Yeah.
What advice?
Yeah, so you can get you get in a time machine, you can go back to a 13-year-old you, give yourself some advice, and then you back. You only got a couple minutes.
To paraphrase Stevie Nicks, time makes you bolder, even children get older. To be more aware of the passage of time and more aware that anything you're doing right now, anything you're doing in any given moment is fleeting, and there's a new opportunity the moment that passes. There's this permanence you feel when you're 13, like everything is going to last forever, because up until that point in your life, everything has lasted forever.
Right.
So the quickly you get used to ephemera and the rapid fire nature of existence, the better.
You think your 13-year-old self is going to listen to something that poetic?
Oh, hell no.
I'm playing you as 13. I don't know what you just said, but tell me again. How do I understand that a little bit better?
You didn't throw that part into it. That
I
a
know.
13-year-old has to
I know,
understand
but I know
it too.
I know you can take it. I wouldn't ask the guest this question if I didn't know he couldn't answer it.
Now
What's
I'm
up,
You have a-
boners? Listen.
How would you get it through him to like a coach almost? Because that's how I think.
All right, I get you. I would say be bolder, be faster, move quickly.
There you go.
Okay, that works.
That's what you can take away. That's what everybody can remember.
And then he would say, "Who the hell is Stevie Nicks?" And I would say, "Oh,
I was gonna put that in there, but I didn't want to. I didn't.
what's up with Terry Gross in the future?"
Your age is a mystery, so I didn't want to ask, and I wasn't gonna make fun of it. If a 13-year-old knew who Stevie Nicks was, so
Oh, definitely knew what Stevie Nicks.
okay, just I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
Man.
Well, dude, hey, thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again, maybe in person next time. We'll wear masks, and
Yeah.
Like the last thing I say on your podcast be, I listen to Wham.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
we've said worse, much worse.
This podcast we have.
I'm an Andrew Wrigley fan, by the way, so it works.
Let me upgrade that to good point. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Fellas, thank you, Eric Law. We'll talk soon.
Thank
ya.
you, sir.